Cece Loves Science by Kimberly Derting and Sheila R. Johannes. Illustrations by Vashti Harrison. Cece loved to ask questions. Her mother said her first word was, "Why?" Her father said it was, "How?" But her favorite question was, "What if?" You would make a great scientist, Cece, said her teacher, Mrs. Curie, because science is all about asking questions. Do fish ever get thirsty? Cece wanted to know. "Oh, they do," said Miss Curie. "Do hummingbirds really hum?" "The sound comes from their wings," said Miss Curie. "What if we all jumped at the same time? Would the earth move?" "Good question," said Mrs. Curie. "I think we should investigate." Miss Curie told Cece and her friends about famous scientists from history, such as Carolyn, Herschel, Thomas Edison, George Washington Carver, and Jane Goodall. She also introduced them to many different sciences. Geology is the study of the earth, biology is the study of living things, entomology is the study of insects. Wow. One day, Miss Curie told everyone to pair up. "For our next project, I'd like you to pick a science you are curious about and come up with a question to investigate," she said. Cece and her best friend Isaac were a team. They both loved zoology, which is the study of animals. Now they just needed to think of an interesting question. First they brainstormed a bunch of ideas. Science is all about possibilities. "It's a bear ticklish?" asked Cece. "Do we really want to find out?" said Isaac. "Do pigs know when they are smelly?" Cece asked. "Only a pig can answer that," Isaac said. "Keep thinking," said Miss Curie. "A scientist thinks outside the box and never, ever gives up." Wow. Find a way. That night at dinner, Cece was explaining the project to her parents when her dog Einstein jumped up and started eating the food right off her plate. "Einstein, down!" said Cece's mother. Cece giggled. Her plate was licked clean, except for the broccoli. "Look what Einstein did," she said. "I guess neither of you likes your veggies," her dad said, laughing. This observation gave Cece a great idea. Einstein could be their science project. Cece called Isaac. "I've got it! Let's find out if dogs eat vegetables." "Cool," said Isaac. Cece couldn't wait to get started. That's a good question. I want you guys to think of some questions you might be wondering about. The next day after school, Cece and Isaac headed straight to Cece's lab to work on their project. Miss Curie's Science Project Worksheet. Cece and Isaac. I like the way they put their names at the top. Science, zoology, the study of animals. Look at their brainstorming ideas. Is a bear ticklish? Do pigs think they stink? Do fish sleep? Oh, that's a good one. Do dogs eat vegetables? That's the question they're going to find out about. Dogs can related to the wolf coyote. Ooh. Einstein. List some of the fun facts about your subject. Okay, Einstein is her dog, named after Albert Einstein. He weighs 40 pounds. Oh, look at that math. Color is gray. Eyes are brown. Scientists use adjectives to describe a noun. Color, number, shape, or size. Its texture or its sound. I'm going to teach you guys that song. Let's see what Cece does next. What do we do first? Asked Isaac. Well, let's observe our subject, Cece said. Observation. Doggy treats guarantee 100% participation, said Cece. Excellent data, said Isaac. Isaac and Cece watched Einstein eat. They watched Einstein drink. They even watched Einstein sleep. Sometimes science was all about waiting and waiting and waiting for something really cool to happen. Who knew waiting should be so cool? From our observations, we know Einstein loves to eat kibble and doggy treats, said Cece. Now we need to investigate our question, said Isaac. Do dogs eat vegetables? I already know Einstein doesn't like broccoli, said Cece. I don't either. Let's test some different veggies, said Isaac. It's experiment time, said Cece. Finally. Oh, scientists do experiments. Wow, that's interesting. Miss Curie's science project worksheet. What are your observations? So I noticed the scientists seem to take a lot of notes about their observations. I wonder why they take so many notes. He eats, drinks, and sleeps. He loves to eat his kibble. He doesn't like broccoli. He jumps on the table. Doggy treats guarantee 100% participation. Ooh, experiment. What vegetables are you testing? Carrots, beans, and cucumbers. I wonder if Einstein will eat carrots, beans, and cucumbers. Cece and Isaac tried carrots, beans, and cucumbers. Einstein turned up his nose at each one. I think that means he didn't like them. If we disguise the vegetables with bacon and ketchup, that was a good idea. Isaac asked this time. Einstein was interested. He ate the bacon, licked the ketchup off the vegetables. That means he likes bacon and ketchup, said Cece. Well, what if we just mix up vegetables with his kibble? Asked Isaac. I bet he won't even know the difference, said Cece. Einstein ate all his kibble but left the vegetables in the bottom of his bowl. Einstein might not eat vegetables, but he sure is smart. Cece gave Einstein a treat and rubbed his ears. Good boy, she said. She looked at Isaac and shrugged. Now what? We're supposed to interpret our data, said Isaac. Einstein definitely loves to eat, said Cece. So interpret must mean, what do they think about the observations that they wrote down? Well, he sure doesn't like broccoli, said Isaac. He doesn't like any vegetables, added Cece. Not even if we cover them with bacon and ketchup, said Isaac. I guess Einstein is a picky eater, said Cece. Miss Curie's project worksheet. Oh, look, she interpreted her data. Or they did. They wrote, eats bacon, ketchup, and kibble, ignores hidden vegetables. Einstein is a picky eater. Wow. Now that was a great interpretation. He doesn't like vegetables. That's the result. That night at dinner, Cece was so disappointed. She didn't even finish her dessert. Maybe I'm not a real scientist after all, she said. Her project was boring. I thought you asked a great question, her dad said. Einstein put his paws on the table and sniffed Cece's banana split. Einstein! Cece giggled, naughty puppy. Her mother laughed and pulled Einstein away. He might not eat vegetables, she said, but he sure likes bananas. That's when Cece remembered something Miss Curie always said. Scientists think outside the box. What if we create a secret recipe using bananas? She asked. Cece and Isaac rushed home after school and mixed together carrots, beans, cucumbers. Remember, he wouldn't eat carrots, beans, and cucumbers? Well, they mixed it with bananas in a blender. Are those still veggies? Asked Isaac. Yep, said Cece. They're just in a different form. Gross, Isaac said, wrinkling his nose. I kind of like vegetables that are in a mixer with bananas. Cece poured the mixture into Einstein's bowl. How about a special smoothie, she asked, patting his head. At first, Einstein looked confused, and he circled the bowl. He sniffed the bowl. Then he got down on his belly and wagged his tail. Do you guys know what it means when a dog wags his tail? And then he slurped down the entire thing. Look, he loves it, said Isaac. In science, not all results are totally predictable. Einstein does eat vegetables when we mix them with bananas, said Cece. That's exciting. And that's when Cece made the most extraordinary observation of all. Science isn't just about asking questions. Real scientists have fun finding answers too. Wow, look at all of the notes that she took for Miss Curie's science project. See the way she crossed out doesn't like vegetables, carrots, beans, and cucumbers? It says Einstein does eat vegetables when we mix them with bananas. I love it. This is the end of the book. And this is like a glossary at the end. It kind of gives you some information about some science facts and also about some pretty well-known scientists that did amazing things. There's Carolyn Herschel. She was an astronomer who discovered 8 comets. 6 of them were even named after her. Astronomers like to look up into the sky. Do you like to look up into the sky? When we start our Wonder Journal, I want to know what you wonder about. The end.